Okay, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. So we have the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. That's just we just had it anyway. Artur Beterbiev has been crowned the undisputed king. Now, Eddie Hearn is down bad. Eddie Hearn. Whoa.
Eddie, I was surprised by the decision, but just
A joke.
Say that again.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
They knew. They told him in the 10th round, you have to knock him out to win this fight.
Who told him, the corner?
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
on TV.
Listen, I think Eddie Hearn looks more hurt than Dmitry Bivol. Man, Eddie Hearn, he's on every single channel. Nearly all the big major boxing channels are featuring Eddie Hearn. More than they're actually featuring the actual fight, or more than they're actually featuring Beterbiev being the champion, or more than they're actually featuring Bivol, being hard done by this points decision. Eddie Hearn is front page news. So look, it looks pretty bad at Matchroom right now because Eddie's stable seems to be getting kind of ran through right now. Even Frank Warren shows a little bit of sympathy for Eddie Hearn after the fight, saying that he thought that Bivol won the fight. Says that he's got no invested interest in this fight, although that Beterbiev does fight for Top Rank and Queensbury seem to have a little something going on there. I don't know, man. Listen, I can tell you this. The fight played out exactly how I thought it would play out. Right? I did say if anyone's going to win by knockout, it's going to be Artur Beterbiev, and if anyone's going to win on points, for me, it's going to be Bivol. So it kind of played out how I felt it was going to play out. Like, I had Bivol at least two rounds clear, right? 2 rounds. You could even say 1 round, 2 rounds clear, gives a bit of a buffer there. But when I saw the judge, that judge that gave Beterbiev 8 rounds, I'm like, what? 8 rounds? Come on, man. Never 8 rounds. Listen, a lot of people say you got to go. Someone said in the comment section somewhere, you've got to go out there and beat the 3-belt champion. Guys, you forgetting that Bivol's a champion himself. Right, Beterbiev's happened to pick up a few belts, but if Bivol had a chance to fight some of those champions that had those belts, I'm sure he would be the one with the 3 belts. I don't know, man. I didn't see Bivol run. A lot of people say, Artur's aggression, come forward. Yeah, Artur was aggressive, as he usually is. He was coming forward. But there were times where Bivol put him on his back foot. There were a particular few times where Bivol put him on his back foot. Not for long, but momentarily, where he stood up to him and traded with him. There was a couple of times that Bivol actually traded with Beterbiev. But Beterbiev, he's a hard puncher. You can see it now. Listen, when you're watching on the television, turn your volume up and listen. Every time Beterbiev lands a punch, you can hear a loud thud. A loud thud. You know this guy hits hard. He hits extremely hard. Doesn't seem to be slowing down in his age. 39 years old. A lot of people say now he's getting old, 39 years old. Listen, the man could go on for another 3 to 4 years. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. He's about his boxing. He's a consummate professional. He could go on for another 3 years, I think, Beterbiev. And I'd like to definitely see a rematch between these two guys because it was a great fight, a great chess match. Listen, for me, worst way, I've had Bivol winning it. A draw, maybe, a draw. If Beterbiev won it, I'm not flipping, screaming to the rooftop saying it's a robbery or anything, but if they were going to give it to Beterbiev, I think it should have been a bit closer than that. Like 8-4 is a terrible scorecard. And I think that judge needs to be looked at. And I think it's about time that we get these judges out and start replaying the matches to them. That's part of their job description after the fight, especially when there's been a contentious decision. We're going to sit down and go through this and work out how you came to the conclusion of this man won 8 rounds to 4. Because I didn't see it. We're watching boxing now. We're talking about the Marks of Queensbury rules. Boxing. I mean, Gareth A. Davis. Now, I was going to save this for a separate video. Gareth A. Davis came out and said he gave Beterbiev 8 rounds. 8 rounds to 4 to Bivol. And he's like, well, Beterbiev was applying a lot of pressure, although, this is Gareth A. Davis's words, although a lot of Beterbiev's punches were landing on Bivol's gloves, I'm still going to give him the 8 rounds. Gareth A. Davis, I think you need to pick up the book and read the Marks of Queensbury rules. How are you scoring? I mean, who was it again? Was it Johnny Fisher? Johnny Fisher was in the studio, and even he didn't want to mention names, but he was basically referring to Gareth A. Davis and saying, how can you score a fight? How can you score a winning round to somebody who lands on the gloves for the whole round? How? I don't understand that. You gave him 8 rounds to 4, but he did most of his work with you're admittedly most of his punches were landing on gloves. That doesn't make sense at all. Gareth A. Davis needs to, I don't know. Anyway, if it was Tyson Fury, it'd be the other way around. No, if Bivol was Tyson Fury, it'd be like, no, he did excellent work. You know, he was throwing the 1-2, sticking and moving. He traded with him at certain points. It was a brilliant performance. F Gareth A. Davis, man. That guy's a fanboy for whoever he fanboys for. But anyway, look, enough said. It was a great fight. I want to see a rematch. Eddie Hearn's down bad. I felt Bivol won it, but you know, I'm not going to complain. But that scorecard was just way too wide. Enough said. Smash the like button, hit that bell for notifications, get all the new latest videos.